S. Nagabharana, acclaimed film director, actor, and producer, who is the chairman of this jury. He is joined by Ms. Ramavij, actor, Dr. Itirani Shamanto, film producer and journalist, Shri Romi Mehti, film director, Shri Pradeep Purba, film director, Shri Kiran Ganti, film editor and director, Shri Kamlesh Mishra ji, film director and scriptwriter, Shri K.P. Vyasan, film producer, director and screenwriter, Shri Anjan Bose, film director and producer, and Shri Karthik Raja, cinematographer, is also with us. I now request Dr. Nagabharana to say a few words of introduction. If there are any other jury members who would like to add, you're most welcome. And then we will throw the floor open for questions. I request all my friends to please introduce themselves and their organization and ask questions. Thank you. Sir.
Okay. Namaskara. Ellarigu namaskara. If once we recall from 1978 onwards, 1979, I entered into Indian Panorama. That was my first film. And after that, 9 films of mine were there in Indian Panorama. With these introductions, I must say that Indian Panorama, from that day till today, has get its own virtue in the IFFI. While representing India, as I always say, beyond Bollywood, there is a lot of things which happens around the country. The languages, the culture, diversity, more than that, the way the visual literacy has been grown from that day till today, you can say that Indian Panorama is a mirror. That's what it is going to be for the foreign delegates especially, and even for our Indian filmmakers. They would love to see what is happening in the other states and other things. For us, earlier it was like a study. Whenever we come to a film festival, it was like a study too. So being a student of cinema, I always feel that even today, it is a study too in front of you. So let us open for the questions. And in the meantime, if any of you wants to add to my comment, please. Okay.
My questions first.
मेरा नाम नम्रता शुक्ला है, मैं लखनऊ से हूँ, स्वतंत्र भारत पर। मैं ये जानना चाहती हूँ, जब फिल्मों का चुनाव होता है, आप लोग सब साथ बैठ के देखते हैं, कभी कभी मत एक नहीं रहता है, तो किस तरह से आप लोग अपना मत बनाते हैं कि ये फिल्म लेनी चाहिए फेस्टिवल के लिए? क्योंकि बहुतों का मत अलग होता है, अरे उन्होंने ये चुन लिया, ये तो ठीक नहीं था, इसमें ये था। तो कैसे एक इतने सारे लोग कैसे सेलेक्ट कर लेते हैं?
Fortunately or unfortunately, we are all filmmakers. So invariably, the perspectives will be different. Each one of us will have their own perspective. I like dosa, whereas he like parota. So that is how the life is. But when we come to the language of cinema, to understand cinema, it's nothing but knowing the heart of the film. I think the art of knowing the heart of the film is, everybody knows it. That's how we came together. And none of us questioned the other one. When once it was named, it was finalized. That's how it was.
This time, not a single Marathi movie has been selected in this section. Over the years, there used to be so many Marathi films, 3, 4, 5, and Marathi में तो बहुत अच्छी फिल्में बनती है. So it's very surprising. People are surprised that this time there's not a single Marathi movie being selected. So can you say something on this?
जो हमारा प्रोसेस होता है फिल्म सिलेक्शन, जो हम 25 फिल्म पर पहुंचते हैं, तो हम लोग 2-3 राउंड पे उस चीज़ पे आते हैं. जो हमारा फर्स्ट राउंड था, जिसमें हम लोगों ने लगभग 63 फिल्मों का चयन किया था, उसमें कुछ मराठी फिल्में आई थी, कुछ क्या लगभग 5-6 मराठी फिल्में आई थी। लेकिन जब हम लास्ट अपनी 20 फिल्मों का एक 20 फिल्मों का एक अलग सेक्शन होता है, 5 फिल्मों का एक अलग सेक्शन है, दोनों मिलकर के 25 होती हैं। तो जो हम 20 का चुनाव जब कर रहे थे तो उसमें बहुत माइनर उस मार्किंग के साथ कुछ फिल्में मराठी की बहुत ऊपर तक आई थी, लेकिन फिर भी वो जो हम 20 फिल्मों का चयन करते वक्त हमें छोड़ना पड़ा। और हम कई बार क्या, हम जब 20 फिल्मों का चुनाव कर रहे थे तो हम भारतीय फिल्मों का चुनाव कर रहे थे। तो उस दरमियान हम उन फिल्मों के कंटेंट, उसकी टेक्निकलिटीज और जो हमारे और पैरामीटर्स हैं फिल्मों का चयन का, उस पर ज़्यादा हमारा फोकस रहता है। तो ऐसे में कई बार फिल्में छूट जाती है, बहुत सारे ऐसी लैंग्वेज की फिल्में छूटी हैं, मराठी की फिल्म अनफॉर्चुनेटली एक भी नहीं आई।
So I'm Ramnath Peraikar from Navin Times, local newspaper. The question is, during past some years, you have been selecting films in new languages or those languages which most of the people don't know. So it's a good chance given to the filmmakers from those regions. So can you shed some light on this?
Yeah, especially Karbi language this time.
Thali.
Santali. So I think each and every corner of India, I already told you about the visual literacy, which has been because of the digital explosion. I think somewhere, even from a corner of a village, he knows how to handle a mobile camera. So invariably, he wants to put up his expressions, and that too, like a feature film, and it becomes a unit. Because it's not one man who is doing it, it is a team. Any feature film is a teamwork. So that teamwork shows in that. Whether it is that language, this language, we don't know. But once it comes, as you are asking for Marathi or anything like that, there were films. But when it came to the level, automatically one surpassed the other. It was very difficult to select out of 378 films to come to 25 films. It is very, very difficult. We have slept very less in a way. 11 hours we used to see and notes and everything, and it was not like that. It is not just taken for granted. It was critically, each one of us has written like why we are selecting this, why we want this film to be there. So like that it went on and went on and went on. So all the new language, I must congratulate those fellows, those who did it, because they are really good about it.
Suppose in one language there are so many beautiful films. Suppose in Tamil there are best 20 films. You will all include those 20 films. I'm just asking.
Do you mean to say the other languages are not good?
No. I'm not what I'm saying. Suppose
No,
there's
so
one particular language is there, and there are 5 best films. So
That's what we did. You see Kerala, you see Malayalam, how many films are there? How many films are there? So invariably,
people may criticize also, no, because they selected from only one that language. They have selected so many.
now is it language oriented? Now if it is so, that's what I told you. If it is so, then we have to select. No. There is one Konkani film, there is one UP film or something like that. Then whether it is good or bad, you have to select. No, it's not. It is not national award. It is Indian panorama. Indian panorama has got a value of its own. I think this time we have done the best with all these 20 films. If you see the films, if you don't like it, tell me why you are not liking it. Then I will sit with you for a discussion.
रमा जी, आपसे क्वेश्चन था, क्या पंजाबी फिल्म है इसमें कोई अच्छी देखने लायक?
पंजाबी फिल्म हमारी जो 20 हमने सिलेक्ट की हैं उसमें तो नहीं आई है. It could not stand a chance.
मराठी भी नहीं आई, पंजाबी भी नहीं आई, तो
मराठी
कैसे?
फिल्में, बात वही है, उन्होंने अभी कहा कि मराठी फिल्में जैसे उन्होंने कहा कि पिछले कुछ सालों में 4-5 आती थी, तो इस बार भी हमने काफी देखी, कुछ अच्छी भी थी, ऐसी बात नहीं, मगर जो 20 फिल्में हमने सेलेक्ट की
वो उनसे बेटर थी. दैट इज व्हाट वी ऑल फेल्ट लाइक दैट. तो जो बेटर फिल्म होगी और बेस्ट होगी अकॉर्डिंग टू ऑल ऑफ अस एंड आवर द वे, और ओवरऑल जो अच्छी लगेंगी फिल्में उनको चांस जरा पहले मिल गया. और ये नहीं कि बाकी फिल्में अच्छी नहीं थी, वो भी अच्छी थी, बट मे बी दे लैग बिहाइंड few points here and there.
Oh, so I'm Gauri Manchanda from Times of India. From Times of India. Yeah. So you said there are slots in India to be represented beyond Bollywood. And earlier the non-feature jury chairperson also said that there is in Indian panorama I think 3 or 4 mainstream films are compulsorily shown. And earlier the Indian non-feature film jury chairperson, he said that somewhere there's a mix-up between what is Bollywood and what is cinema, and the likes of Karan Johar should not be given the front seat. So I would like your comments on that.
Have you gone through the history of Indian panorama? If it is so, then you realize that Indian panorama is a platform for independent filmmakers. Please, I'm stressing on this independent filmmaking because today slowly it is going out of our control because of the corporate culture which is slowly taking over, and the OTT platforms are taking over. Invariably, the independent filmmakers are thrust in a way. Indian panorama is the essence of Indian emotions of an independent filmmaking. When once you realize this, automatically you realize that we have done a good job. So, when once a corporate culture comes, automatically the corporate persons will start ensuring their ideology or their approach to that. You have to be pan-India. You have to be double language, you have to do that, you have to be like this, you must use that fellow, not this fellow. Don't use the villagers, use the goody fellows. All those kind of will start entering into this. This is what I think in future, it may become like that. And unfortunately, the digital onslaught is make everyone to make every film. It is a no man's land today. Filmmaking is a no man's land. Anybody can do anything. So if you got educated, if you are prepared, if you are really versatile and knows the skills of filmmaking, those things we have to identify, get into the panorama. Because everybody thinks that my film will be in Indian panorama because I have chosen a content which no one has chosen. But content doesn't make. Content with skill, with the approach, with the unit, how it works, then only it comes to that.
Criteria for the good film. According to this juries, can you get some light on that?
I always feel that whenever somebody asks, what is a commercial cinema? And somebody says, what is an art cinema? I say good and bad cinema. There are two ways. Only good and bad. One touches the heart, keeps you thinking, and makes your mind to think twice. And when there is a takeaway from that hall, you can take away till your death or till your memories last. That kind of cinema is a good cinema. If it is not so, you entertain. You give all sorts of gimmicks and everything. You enjoy in the theater. When once you come out, you cannot bash the other fellow beside you because you cannot hit him. You can enjoy that vicarious enjoyment in that one.
हमारे प्रधानमंत्री जी महिला ओरिएंटेड फिल्मों में
just wanted to add a few points. आपका सवाल था एक मत अगर होता तो वो it also defines autocracy. इससे एक मत से ज्यादा बेटर वर्ड है बहुमत. अगर एक मत नहीं हुआ तो बहुमत. और जहां जहां चुनाव होता है हर वो जगह पे डिस्कशन तो होता ही है. तो डिस्कशन के बाद में अगर एक मत नहीं हो पा रहा है तो बहुमत से चुना गया फिल्म. आपकी एक सवाल था मराठी फिल्में क्यों नहीं है. मेरा अपना भी एक सवाल है, मैं हैदराबाद से हूँ, आई वर्क इन द तेलुगु फिल्म इंडस्ट्री, एक भी तेलुगु फिल्म नहीं है। मुझसे भी लोगों ने पूछा, हैदराबाद वापस गया था तो एक भी तेलुगु फिल्म नहीं है। वो जो लैंग्वेज इस साल 8 नेशनल अवार्ड जीता है, उस लैंग्वेज की फिल्मों में एक भी नहीं है। तो मैं आपसे सवाल करता हूँ, आपने ऐसे ही सवाल किया श्रीमान, मैं आपसे सवाल करता हूँ, कितने मराठी फिल्में होती तो आप संतुष्ट होते? नहीं नहीं, अभी आप ना नहीं कर सकते, हमने ऐसे, चलिए ये सवाल का जवाब नहीं होता, फिर भी मैंने सवाल किया। एक ही है मराठी, एक ही तेलुगु, ऐसा क्यों? तीसरा अहम मुद्दा क्या है कि मेरे लिहाज से, मेरे हिसाब से पूरा इंसान को अगर दो चीजें जोड़ती है इतिहास से, एक म्यूजिक होता है, बट म्यूजिक इज रेस्ट्रिक्टेड बिकॉज म्यूजिक में कहीं ना कहीं भाषा आ जाती है। दूसरा है सिनेमा, और सिर्फ सिनेमा। हर वो जगह पे, हर वो प्रांत में, पूरा भूगोल को, द होल ऑफ द यूनिवर्स, इफ एनी मीडियम कैन कम्युनिकेट, it is nothing but cinema and only cinema, which is what I think you were trying to ask by saying प्रधानमंत्री जी वसुधैव का कुटुंबकम अगर अभी बोल रहे हैं, भारतीय सिनेमा तो 100 साल से बोल रहे हैं। सिनेमा मेरा मतलब क्या है कि वो, अगर वो चीज, जैसे फिल्में काफी बनती है और सिनेमा भी बनती है, दोनों में क्या फर्क है? कुछ फर्क है कि नहीं है? सिनेमा मेरे लिए वो है, हम सबके लिए वो है, जिसको देख के अगर आप जिंदगी को ज्यादा समझ पाए, या वो देखने के बाद आपको लगता है मैं अपनी जिंदगी को बेहतर संभाल पा रहा हूं, समझ पा रहा हूं, वो सिनेमा है। अभी जब नागवन्ना सर ने कहा कि आपके एंड तक, डेथ तक अगर किसी चीज को ले जा पाएंगे, वो सिनेमा है। हमसे पूछा जाए हमारा फेवरेट फिल्म कौन सी है, तो शायद ही कोई बोलेगा उनकी मातृभाषा की फिल्म सबसे ऊपर होगी, नहीं हो सकती। तो ये जो लैंग्वेज की आप बात कर रहे हैं, हम सभी बात कर रहे हैं, मुझसे भी पूछा गया है, सबसे ऊपर है लैंग्वेज और सिनेमा, बाकी भाषा तो बाद में आई है ना। और आखिरी चीज, आपने जो सवाल किया कि करण जौहर को फ्रंट सीट में देख के वो चेयरमैन साहब ने कुछ कहा है, बट उनकी अपनी फिल्म सेलेक्ट नहीं हुई इस बार, तो काहे करण जौहर बदनाम हो रहे हैं? उनकी रॉकी रानी आई है, लेकिन दैट वाज नॉट गेट सिलेक्टेड। तो इंडियन इंटरनेशनल फिल्म फेस्टिवल में दो चीजें हैं कि इस देश, भारत, इंडिया, what kind of films are the audience enjoying and making them super hits? That should also reflect the times in which we are living in. That is very important. That is why mainstream cinema is coming. तो घुसाया नहीं गया है वो, हम लोग में छोड़ो, जो it is an international film festival, people from all over the world come to see cinema which is made in India, mostly appreciated by the masses in India. उसको भी दर्शाना बहुत जरूरी है कि ऐसी कौन सी फिल्में हैं जो इतने करोड़ों लोग देख के पसंद कर रहे हैं। दैट इज द रीजन व्हाई मेन स्ट्रीम कैटेगरी इज कमिंग। तो ये 5 फिल्में उस कैटेगरी से आई है। और दूसरा, ये उन दोनों का कहीं कंपटीशन नहीं है, मिलजुल के है। ये ऐसी फिल्में जो सर ने कहा इंडियन पैनोरमा में, वो फिल्में हैं, 20 फिल्में आप में से कोई भी देख के बताइएगा कि आपको पसंद नहीं आई है, तो हमारा तो संवाद होगा, विवाद तो होगा नहीं।
हमारे प्रधानमंत्री जी महिलाओं का बहुत सम्मान करते हैं, महिला सशक्तिकरण पे भी बात करते हैं। ऐसी कोई फिल्म है आपकी जो महिलाओं के ऊपर बड़ी बोल्ड फिल्म है, जो हम लोग देखें तो लगे कि आपने कोई फिल्म है इसमें?
You start with the first film today, Autumn, till the end. You can see that 90% of the films
It's a
are
women-oriented.
women-oriented. And in some of the films, women directors, producers, especially this time, we are so proud that I told in the morning also, हमारा नारी शक्ति का बहुत सम्मान जुड़ा है इसके साथ।
Sir, namaskara. So we speak about content-oriented cinema. So now my question is, when it comes to feature films, so there are a lot of content-oriented feature films, but how do you actually differentiate between these content-oriented feature films with respect to language? That is my basic question. Along with that, I also want to ask whether any Kannada film is also there in your panorama this time.
Already selected 2 films are there, Antara and RRR, 2 films are there. And don't worry about the language. As he said, cinema language is the ultimate language, which we have taken it as a really, all of us, when once we started seeing the films, we all had only one in our mind. We have to give the best Indian cinema. That's what we have. That's what we try to, and that's what we have given, and we are proud of it. And anything, whatever it is, whether it is plus or minus, we are responsible for that. All of us. Only me, all of us. So about language, other than this, you keep away this language, this thing. Other than that, as cinema content, I added to the content, I added another one more thing, skill. So when once you want to achieve something, because I told you it is a no man's land. Everybody wants to make sense. Night ko ek dream aayega and tomorrow morning you will start making a film. Not that. There has to be a preparation. There has to be something which has to go through that. It is a tapas. So he has to go through that dhyana. Otherwise, he cannot make a good film. He can make a better film. No doubt that the content will be good. And always content will not be the sufficient thing unless you prove with the cinematic skill and the reaching of the public. How do you communicate that through that skill? That is what we have to. I think we have to. It is a very small line between that. Unless in other way we differentiate that line, I think we will be clapping for any film which comes with a content, because lot of cliched contents have come. Cliche, what I say. Earlier it was there in 80s and 90s. If there is a Jativad or it is a Vargavad, something like that, automatically they say, no, it is a content which has to go to national award. It will go to Indian panorama. Today there is a lot of human elements which are flowing around, and we have to take a new kind of approaches. I think one of such film is what we selected in RR Iraro, a thief and an old woman's relationship was so beautifully done. So those kind of things, which this time you can see a lot of that. All the 20 is totally different from each and every one. Each film is a different thing.
Sir, previous panel told about universality of the content. As you said, along with content, it is about how many people it will reach as an individual. That was very valid. But I just want to ask, other than Kantara, if there are small filmmakers which is not probably supported by big production houses like Hombade, if they really have a very good content, today it is more like you invest 40% in the film, it's more than 60% for your marketing and reach of the film. So how do people reach it? That is my question.
First of all, I don't consider this platform to say that big budget film, low budget film. Film is a film. Whether he has spent crores up together, we are not bothered. Whether he has spent a small amount, we are not bothered. We are bothered about the content and the reach and the how much of that reached our heart. And it proved. That's what I said. You just see both the films there in the panorama screening, then you decide yourself which one has got that much, and even both of them are together in the same valuation. So no way we are counting on the crores together, because we are not doing a marketing business here. We are doing an emotionally, ethically, aesthetically good cinema to reach not India, outside India. Yes.
Good afternoon, sir. Yeah, I'm Vishwanath here. I fully agree with the chairman and the team here. Language, if language is the issue, then so many films we could have. I mean, if I go by my experience because, yeah, no, I'm just telling that yeah, because we cannot select films based on the language, because even I have had the experience. I mean, there are so many films. As a jury, I have also watched.
Please ask the questions. If you are endorsing me or my group, thank you for that.
Yeah, that's
Sorry, sir.
Sir, thank you, Chairman of the jury and the members of the jury. As the Chairman said, we all have to learn to appreciate the language of cinema that takes the human story forward. That is what the Indian panorama is. We don't have to look at individual languages in which films have been made, but the language that films speak. So thank you again, sir, for explaining this so beautifully. And I hope you are also happy with this interaction and the questions that were asked.
I'm always happy with my friends.
Thank you so much.
Because some other time also I will be sitting there questioning him.
The jury members have a wonderful time in this 54th April. Thank you again.
Thank you and congratulations to everyone and all the best for the 54th International.